what Kevin Samuels had to say to B Simone.
All it takes for you to come down to reality, B Simone, is one wrong post. You are one viral video away, one internet canceling away from being back at Forever 21 selling shit.
He said you are one post away from losing it all.
What it do? What it do? K-Boss here. And I hope y'all doing superb. What are we going over here today? I know. We're going over one of my favorite content creators on the planet. As you know, I do a lot of NPR, and I've done Oshay Duke Jackson before. But since it's on the B Simone, this is the reason why if you're trying to be a content creator and you want to see a master class in how to create content, you gotta take a look at Oshay Duke Jackson. Now, he's part of the Black Manosphere, and I do know there's a lot of people out there that do not like this man. I don't know why. I mean, Clap State University.
We want to enroll them into Clapathon Tech. All hail to Clapathon Tech. We clap, we clap, we clap, we clap.
Cares. At the end of the day, let's go in, and he brings up a valid point about, I remember this about Kevin Samuels, and this is the reason why I am going in on B Simone. Not that I dislike her. I don't know her. I don't care. But my thing is, this is the type of attitude that this is why she looks the way she looks. Does she look sad? I mean, she looks like she hurt right here. And she's hurt because of her personality. She got something going wrong with her. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing to want to make money, but Oshay Duke Jackson explains how what Kevin Samuels predicted, A. B, what Kevin Samuels knew not to do, which a lot of content creators lose focus on, and 3, that basically B Simone is a one-trick pony. She doesn't have her own thought process when it comes to things. She's just reacting just to make dollar bills, y'all. I mean, if you think about it, she does that with men, she does that with her friends, and why don't you not think she does it based off of what? So let's take a look.
Why did he say that? Now, again, I've seen certain videos, and I want to give a shout out to Chantel Simone for making a really good video about the same topic that I'm doing right now. But the reality was, Kevin Samuels understood something about the content creator industry, which is what I understand. I don't really do the whole monetizing of your audience, trying to seem thirsty, abusing your audience just because you can get money from them. Because what tends to happen as a content creator, you don't value that money as much, so you start doing other things with that money, and so then you stop putting in the work to basically educate your audience. And this is exactly what B Simone did. And instead of taking Kevin Samuels' advice, what did B Simone do herself?
Here's another challenge. We got all these things we want in a man. A list of things. He gotta be tall, he gotta be dark, he gotta be handsome, he gotta have pretty teeth, he gotta be a family man, he gotta be financially stable, he gotta be rich, he gotta be successful, he gotta be all these things. And we ain't even have some things on that list. He gotta be a family man. You may talk to your mama in 6 months, but you want him to be a family man. He gotta be financially stable. Your account is in the negative, ma'am. Overdraft fees. He gotta have a job. You need to go fill out some applications, because you're still unemployed. You want him to be financially stable? Well, you need to start saving, because you can't keep a dime to your name.
B Simone became Kevin Samuels herself. That's right. Instead of actually taking Kevin Samuels' advice, B Simone at one point started stealing Kevin Samuels' content. She became the godfather herself. And this is interesting from a woman that has a female audience that is trying to do, I don't know what she's trying to accomplish, but it changes every week. One day she's about women empowerment, it's about business, it's about religion, it's about trying to get a husband, no, it's about being by yourself, it's about getting to the bag, or it's about getting back to God. She was just losing everybody. And of course she went from that to this.
Just my finances. Like the budgeting, you see how I am. Nitpicking every little thing. I've never been like that. We were in Bloomingdale's. Yes.
So this is what you call the a black calling the kettle black or something like that. What did you say? I don't know the acronym, but it's very enduring to see. I don't know what it is. One of my subscribers said to me on my last video, you know, basically, he said, I don't know what it is, but I love to see jealous people fall. And I'm like, I didn't know what to say. I was like, thought about it. I was like, oh, have we fallen? And this is the thing about being stoic that a lot of people don't know how to do. And Kevin was right. I listen to Kevin all the time. Matter of fact, it hurt my feelings half the time I listened to Kevin, especially when he was going in on men. And then when he switched to women, I'm like, oh, dang. But he still holds us accountable. But he went where the dollars were, right? But like Oshay is saying, is monetizing your content is one thing, but monetizing your audience is another. Meaning, I'm starting to see that as a person who's working with other content creators, that, you know, money is not about, it's not all about the money. You got to be thankful and grateful for the subscribers you have and the content that you create, and creating, you know, a piece of education and creating more intellectual conversation based off of reality. And then if you start flipping and flopping and doing all that other stuff, I noticed the people I used to watch 2-3 years ago, the only ones that I continuously keep watching, well, obviously MTR, Oshay, I never really watched his content, to be honest with you, when he first started, because I was a working stiff. I was a 9-to-5 guy. I didn't have time to pay attention to the social media. But as, you know, COVID hit and started working from home, started, you know, looking for avenues to do more, I started getting into this YouTube stuff. And then once I started getting into the YouTube stuff, I had to learn how to do YouTube. And the best way to learn how to watch and, you know, well, excuse me, the best way to do YouTube is to watch the people that you admire and not really copy their style, but take their style, right? And figure out, okay, what am I learning here? And how do I grow from this scenario? And what a lot of people do, and I noticed this, especially when you start talking about a topic. I mean, there's tons of people talking about B Simone right now. So it's kind of like, is she an evil, mad genius to get people talking about her, make her relevant, so they at least go to her page? Or is it making her to where her psychological scenario is going to fall by the wayside because now everybody has it out for her? But what I think what most people and what Oshay is trying to say here is that if you look at how she has changed, where at the beginning of the video, if you want to go back to watch this whole video, like I said, I don't really take the main parts of the video and watch it. I just take the deep analytic side of what captivated me, and so I can give a detailed response. And I think that's what's different about content creators. A lot of content creators want to steal your content, pose it off as theirs, and not give the credit. Me, on the other hand, I want to show homage to the people that I watch, saying, hey, this is what I felt that you made me feel based off of the information you gave. And that's what Kevin Samuels does. That's what MTR does. And that's obviously what Oshay Duke Jackson does. Another person who's really good at that too as well is the lead attorney. And I'm older than most of these men. I believe I'm older than Oshay, because Oshay says he's like 46. He just had a birthday. So I'm 49. I'm about to be 50 this year. and the lead attorney. I think we're at the older apex. I am a Gen X, right? So if you were born after 1980, you're a millennial, right? So that's where NPR kind of falls in, but he has an older espionage. I say NPR would be the cool little brother, right? Because he's not really, or the nephew, right? But he's so well and spoken, and he's so thoughtful. And I think just because he was in the video with Kevin Samuels, that's how I recognized who he was, and that's why I followed him, because I'm looking for straightforward, intellectual type people that fit the criteria. I do not watch too much of the hood stuff. I'm not really into the relationship. The Pop the Balloon, the only reason why I watched that is because of NPR and Oshay Duke Jackson. These guys really figured out the process, and it's because of Kevin Samuels that brought a lot of these predictions. He's given content gems, and the way you use them, and if you pay attention, he's showing a masterclass of this. And that's the reason why I pay attention to Oshay Jackson. That's the reason why I pay attention to MTR and the lead attorney. So those are my three main people that I pay attention to. I haven't done any of the lead attorney stuff yet because this is more legal. But I will be doing a lot of his in the future, and I don't want to cross-contaminate and take away from Oshay Jackson. However, Kevin Samuels and Oshay, like you said, had a checkered past, or interesting, as he would say. And I didn't know anything about Oshay Duke Jackson until I started watching NPR, which is crazy because then you watch NPR stuff, and then Oshay Duke Jackson came about from that situation. So I know they have something, and then you have the Corey Holcombs of the world. Then you have there's River that I pay attention to. Shishesh, I do watch him. And so these people are very inspirational for brand new budding content creators like myself, and or people who are at the lower end on what not to do. So this is a master class. If you're watching this video, everybody's paying attention in the diss of B Simone. But what I want people to pay attention to with Oshay's stuff is Oshay not only is telling a story and is comical, but what he's done and what he does is educate. And that's what he's trying to say here. Let's go and listen to this last part.
And you didn't see them as the person that gave you the opportunity. So if you had the attitude towards your own audience in that same respect, it was no way possible you could get a high value man with that same mentality, because you're a person looking for somebody to keep giving to you, but you don't want to give anything. And we have a word for that. It's called parity. Parity is another way of saying equality. What you do for me, I'm willing to do for you. I'm willing to add value to your life. And when it came to B Simone, she's just not willing to do so. Everybody must suffer for her to be successful. And what happens in the free market, once you stop developing, the market says, we think you're fake, or we think you're fraudulent, or we think you're wishy-washy. And so once so many people start to do that, people start to go away and they start to do different things. Now, again, as we get older, we all evolve. And of course, people can change their mentalities towards certain things. But typically, your content and genre space should be somewhat the same. I mean, I came in 2015, I was in the Black Manosphere, and it's 2025, and even though my content has changed, the structure of who followed me then is kind of easy for them to follow me now, because the same basic talking points are still there when it comes to the strategy. But when it came to B Simone, what she was doing in 2020 is completely different than what she's doing now in 2025, and she's saying anything just to get money. And when you don't have value for the people that help you, you're gonna be broke. Shout out to Kevin.
So I'm gonna leave the video here and let you take a listen to the whole entire video. Description linked in below, where Oshay just basically ends B Simone's career. I think this is a career ender. And tell me what you think. What did you learn? This is K-Ball, and I'm out.